Todo está muy chulo. Ya lo veo. Se nota. Un montón. Pues si queréis me pongo donde él, que se aparte y entro y salgo. No, o sea, presento, se sale, o sea, me salgo y entra él, ¿no? Algo así. Sí, ya, es que aquí ya... Vaya.
Si no te pillan bien el...
Sí. Es que tengo ahí a Laura. Good afternoon, everyone. So we will start the lecture of today, and I'm glad to present Eduardo Ruiz, that is a researcher of the Spanish Association of Cancer Research on the Aragon Health Research Institute, and I will pass the floor to the lecture of today, and we will have a presentation about superheroes fighting cancer. Thank you.
Well, Alba, thank you very much for your kind presentation about myself. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to participate in this Congress. I'm very glad and very thankful to the organizers for inviting me to participate here with all of you. I was set to give a talk, but I don't want to give just a talk because we are just in the afternoon. We are plenty of food right now, so I don't want you to fall asleep. So, first of all, I know that all of you have a clear mind. You are really clever, really enthusiastic, as you have won some prizes in national or international congresses. So, please, what I want you to do is to take out your mobile phones because you have to help me in this presentation because it's going to be a kind of game or something like that, okay? First of all, what I wanted to let you know is, well, that in my case, I won the first fellowship to study cancer in Aragon, which was from the Spanish Association for Cancer Research. So this was myself, but a bit some years ago. This is myself right now. I'm working in this institute, which is the Aragon Health Research Institute, and I'm working on cancer, okay? So I'm also really interested in science, specifically in cancer. So first of all, I wanted to ask you some questions. So the first one, you have to log in this QR or in mentip.com and use this code to log on in the first question. So, Carol, if you... It's going to be like an online survey. So you will know the ones who you are here and also the ones who are online about the real-time votes of the question. So yeah, the first question is, what is cancer? Because I don't know if you know, first, that cancer exists, and also, if you know, you clearly know what is cancer. So yeah. Oh yeah, you have it here. No. Carol, yeah. Yeah, this is the code. Sorry. Yeah, you have to type 7268 3050. Okay? Sept, deux, six, huit, trois, 0, 5, 0. Yeah, you have only 30 seconds to answer the question. Yeah, there are like 10 people that are really fast. Okay, so what time? Yeah? Is okay? Okay, so I know that maybe you have answered the last one because there are a lot of ticks there, but it's not the correct one because it was a false friend. I mean, cancer is a disease which is not uniquely specific of humans, but also some animals have this kind of disease, but not all animals. Because, for example, a jellyfish, I don't know if a jellyfish can have cancer. But what I do know is like, for example, a dog or a cat can have this kind of disease. For example, a dog, I had one of them, a dog, which has a brain cancer. So it has a real tumor like humans inside the brain, okay? So yeah, the correct one is that cancer are more than 200 different diseases in humans. And what I wanted you to realize is that cancer is, even if it's only a one word, it's not only a unique disease because there are a lot of tissues, a lot of kind of cells in our body, and also a lot of different people between us because maybe the cancer of one person is not equal of that of another one. So cancer is a huge word with whose meaning englobes a lot of different kind of diseases, which has, for example, a tumor or something similar. So, coming back to the presentation, the next slide was thought to explain a bit what is cancer, and oops, that's it. Yeah. I like to merge the Marvel universe with cancer because I found a lot of similarities between them. In this case, you know, in the Marvel universe, there is a man which is really, really bad, and also he wants to have all the stones of the universe. Cancer is something similar because the cells of our body just proliferate and grow by themselves without any control. So what they have are like 6, 7, a variety of characteristics which are not from normal human cells, but are specific from cancer cells. So they are like in an anarchy, and they grow whatever, whenever, and with any control. So it's more or less similar to Thanos in the Marvel universe. So, apart from cancer, I study cancer, as you know. Specifically, I study brain cancer. One of the things I wanted to realize is that brain also can have cancer, because there are some people that ask me, but is it true? Brain cancer exists? Brain cancer do exist. It is called glioma or glioblastoma, which is the most aggressive form of brain cancer in adults. So this is a really bad disease. The prognostic of people which suffer this kind of cancer is really low. So in more or less in 1 year, these people die, unfortunately. So I'm working to prolong, to enlarge the survival of these people, okay? So this is a true glioma of a patient of here of Zaragoza, because we have some collaboration with the hospital, which is really interesting for us to study real samples of this kind of cancer. And also, I haven't put it here, but also I'm working with animals. I work with small rodents, with mouse, with new mouse, which don't have hair in the body, are really cute and are really useful, because this is something that is not really well understood, I think, in Europe, maybe, that experiments done with animals are essential to find some cures, to find some diagnostic tools in humans fighting cancer. So, the next, well, as I said, that cancer has some characteristics, especially of those cells, I also thought that it was not worth it to say that glioblastoma, even if it is a cancer, it also have some special characteristics of its cancer cells. I know I don't want you to read all the ones, just to let you know that the place where glioblastoma develops is the brain. So there is a physiological barrier, which is called the blood-brain barrier, which a lot of molecules which are directed against this cancer have to cross. So a lot of diagnostic or therapeutic tools fail in crossing this barrier. And also, one of the things we are going to talk about, the immune system is in charge of fighting against these and other cancers. Okay? So, don't fall asleep. You have another question to answer. And another 30 seconds. Yeah, you have the code. We are changing the presentation, so you have the code right here. Oops. Oh yeah, you have the code right here in menti.com, but also you have the code right here, 35291394. Sorry? Yeah. Oh. But for all the questions, you can log on menti.com, and then you have only to type the code which is changing from one to another question. Because I put the QRs because I didn't know that I could export those presentations to the PowerPoint. So, sorry. So this is exciting because any one of you have answered that superheroes do not exist. So maybe we have superheroes here and I didn't know it. So, so no, this is one. Two. So I think that maybe a few of you have thought that superheroes exist, but you are right that superheroes, even if they exist, they are really, really small. And what I wanted this afternoon to realize to you is that our cells that compose our immune system are real superheroes for us, even if we didn't know it before. So, well, superheroes exist, which is okay, yeah. Maybe not in the Earth. I don't know if it's someone living out of the Earth, but maybe yeah, I don't know it. So the correct answer is this one. So following the presentation, you might know that there is a huge work team of superheroes in some fictional series, but I'm not gonna talk about them. I'm gonna talk about that some superheroes that are not really well known, which are the cells of our immune system. So, as you can see here, is like a huge army of different soldiers. I don't know, like those words, so I prefer to call them superheroes. Where each one of them has fantastic powers, different ones, and we might don't know which power has each one. So in this part of the talk, I just wanted to show to you that some of specialities of some of these cells. Okay, just to not to bore you. Well, bad fights. Maybe I'm lying to you. I'm not telling the truth. So I want you to answer this. Yeah, this one. So as you have done before, log on menti.com and use the code 35, again, 291394. And you also have 30 seconds to answer the question. Wow. Wow. I'm really surprised because you are answering quite good. Well, not very good right now. But before, yeah, it was quite good. Yeah? Okay. So we stop here. Most of you are right. I mean, our immune system fights, as I've said before, I was not lying, because you are really nice people, so I don't want you to be like. The cells of the immune system fight against a lot of things. For example, they fight against bacteria and viruses and also another pathogenic agents. All of you may know coronavirus, so our immune system fights against the coronavirus. Then also against toxic molecules that can enter into our body. Also against cancer, because it's the topic of the talk of today. And also I wanted to let you know that in some cases our immune system fights against our own body. So these kind of diseases are autoimmune diseases. And in this case, our immune system is fighting against some molecules, something that is weird in our body. Well, it's not weird in our body, but it's weird for them. So this is what I wanted to realize to you. So following the presentation, I wanted to show to you some different attacks or special powers of the immune system cells. Like for example, this one. Can you play the video? This is the right one, yeah. So this is a lymphocyte or a T cell, which is called in immuno. So, and the blue one is a cancer cell. So as you see here, the red one is like hugging them. And you will see like small vesicles inside the cell, which finally will kill the cancer cell. This is what we call the kiss of death. So there are some cells in our body that contains cytotoxic molecules, which are contained in small vesicles, and when they detect a cancer cell, they are able to fight against this cancer cell by exposing those cytotoxic molecules to the cancer cell. So finally, the cancer cell, the blue one here, finally die. Okay? So I like to compare the action of these T cells to the Black Widow, or for example, also to the Scarlet Witch, because they are like, wow, really Superwoman heroes. So. And the kiss of death, I think, is one of the best attacks that these kind of cells have against cancer. Also, we have the attack of neutrophils, which is called NETs, which are neutrophil extracellular traps, and are a kind of net, or yeah, it's a kind of net like the one of Spider-Man, because when they detect also a cancer cell, they are also able to just kill themselves and expose the DNA to the media, and cancer cells that are in the surroundings, they are able to be trapped in those nets. And finally, as they cannot move, they finally die. So this is another way that in our own body, the immune system fights against cancer cells. And finally, another example are ROS. It's like an explosion from macrophages and neutrophils, which are able to produce this kind of reactive oxygen species, which are cytotoxic molecules too, which come from oxygen. And finally, it's like a human torque, They kill also another kind of cancer cells in other environments, because as I have said before, there are a lot quantity of cancers. So even if there are a lot of cancers, we have also a huge quantity of different cells in our immune system which are able to fight against those cancers. But scientific size matters. This is another question I wanted to ask to you, because sometimes, or not, it could be important. So in this case, the code is 6363 again, 053. Tell me. Oh, but you can also log on menti.com. So, okay, you have five different answers. The first one is that science cares about sizes. The second one is that there is not space for sizes in science. It might be important sometimes. There are another important things for science, or unexpectedly, the second is not correct. What do you think? Well, I'm also surprised because you are really clever, because you, more or less you are answering correctly. So, yeah. Well, yeah, science cares about sizes, but not always. I mean, size is important, but not in every case, as I'm going to tell you after this question. So the correct one could be like, yeah, it might be important, but sometimes. This crazy question was, I thought about it because, yeah, move to the presentation, please. Because I'm gonna introduce to you the topic about, it's about my research. So I'm working with a superhero which is called Batman, that I'm sure you all know. Batman lives in a city which is named Gotham, and then when it happens something weird in the place, the police, or yeah, it was the police, put the signal of a bat in the sky, so Batman knows that he has to go there because something wrong is happening there. This is the same which happens with this molecule here, with an Y-shaped form, which is called antibody. Antibodies are molecules of that our immune system produce, and they are able to detect something that is wrong in our body and go there. And when they go there, they call another cells of our immune system, and these cells finally destroy the cancer cell, for example. So this is the base, for example, of immunotherapies that you might know, or in the future will know about them, because we are really focused on them in develop some directed strategies to treat cancer. But as I have said before, I'm working on glioblastoma, which is a brain cancer, and its location hampers or difficults a lot of molecules to cross through the blood-brain barrier and get access into the brain. So I'm working with mini Batmans or nano Batmans. So this is not more or less my favorite superhero, but instead of it are Ant-Man and the Bee. So I'm working with small molecules I'm not sure you'll see something here, but well, yeah, they are called nanobodies, which are much more smaller than conventional antibodies, and they also have the same power like Batman, which can go to a cancer cell and destroy them. The best thing of nanobodies is that they are smaller, so they can cross through the blood-brain barrier and get access into the brain. So they can attack cancer, which is developing inside the brain. And a curiosity is that nanobodies come from the immune system, not from humans, but from camelids. So we have camelids in the Canary Islands producing nanobodies against some targets of cancer cells. And when we can purify those nanobodies from the immune system, from the blood of those special animals, we can say if they can destroy or not the brain cancer cells of our laboratory, the ones I've shown you before. So this is the moment selfie, the selfie moment, because I was told that we can make some photographs. So for the next explanation, I need a selfie with you. So I'm gonna do the selfie. Just a smile, please. Well, thank you. Thank you for your collaboration. I know that all of you know, like for example, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and I'm sure that you have uploaded some images on those social networks. And you all know that there are a lot of filters and a lot of modifications you can make in a photograph, in a selfie, for example, in this one, to make it brighter, make it more clear, or, I mean, at the end, you want the perfect selfie of your friends or your family or whatever. So, in my case, I'm working with those nanobodies to make something similar, but in the laboratory with images that came from brain cancers. So, yeah, this is the kind of images I want to get in my laboratory. So, if you play the video, this is the brain of a mouse. And as you can see here, there is a mass, a blue, yellow, or no, here. No? Well, don't worry. It was just a movie because this image is in 3D. So what we perform in the laboratory are PET images in which you can define really clearly the brain cancer inside the brain of a mouse. This technology is also practiced in humans, but you get images like blurred, not really clear ones, not like the selfie I have taken before, because there are the molecules that are being used right now are also eaten by the neurons of the brain. So if the neurons of the brain eat these molecules and also the brain cancer cells eat these molecules, we are not going to get a bright image and a clear one like this one. So nanobodies which target cancer cells in the brain can give us some information in this kind of images of the tumor of people which suffer this disease. So this is more or less what I wanted to present to you, more or less. And the final question is that maybe you could create your own superhero to fight cancer, and I just wanted to let you know if you have liked it or not. So please. This is the last question, I promise. So you have also to log on menti.com, and the code is, again, 6363053. So this is a really creative investigation in terms that most of cancer. Thank you. Well, these people, I don't like them at all. So please, why? Maybe your horoscope is cancer, so it's fair for me. Don't worry. So, well, okay, thank you very much for those who have asked some, not this question, but the other ones. So just to finish the presentation, I wanted to say some things that are, oops, no. Yeah. Well, I wanted to thank all my lab mates because they are wonderful women, and also they helped me a lot. Each day in the laboratory, this is not this is like a lifestyle because you spend a lot of hours in the laboratory to discover, to research some things about the human body and cancer. This is not an easy question to answer. And also my scientific superiors, especially Maria, which is from also ICIJA. So I share with her like 6 months in the laboratory. She's an amazing woman, an amazing scientist, and all of them just are in my heart of scientist and also a person. So they are really, really good, and I wanted to share it with you. Also, this is important for me to let you know that I've met a lot of women here that are in charge of wonderful projects in cancer science, and I also want to put to put the relevance that it deserves the participation of women in science, because if we don't have women in science, men are nothing. So we have to collaborate one with each others. And this is my friend Carol here, here in the floor. So thank you very much for your attention. I hope you have liked the presentation. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions for me? Please.
When did you start your research?
When? I started.
Okay. Where did you start your research?
When or when?
Where?
Where?
No, when? Excuse me.
When? I started my research I think it was in 2018, yeah. So I think it was like, well, no, in the 17. Yeah, like 5 years ago. So the first image of myself was like with 23 years old, 22 years old. Yeah. Thank you.
I'd like to know what kind of imaging do you use? Is it like common microscopy or
no, we have
NMR? Or?
We are trying to apply technologies which are in the hospitals, for example, positron emission tomography, which is the big machine that all of us have in our mind, which is like a cylindric.
It's 3D, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are trying to adapt those kind of imaging in the laboratory with special molecules, which are the nanobodies.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyways, this may be a bit of a more of a personal question, but I would just like to know how much, well, sort of high-level education did you have to study through to get a job at your position?
Okay.
To become a researcher.
Oh, my career,
It's a
my
question
studies.
about- yeah.
Okay. Well, I started to study biotechnology here in Zaragoza. It was like a degree of 4 years. Then I moved to Madrid. I studied a master of genetics and molecular cellular biology. And finally, I get involved in the laboratory where I am, and I started to study my PhD degree, which is about the project I have shown you before. But for example, if you are interested in this kind of topics, you don't have to study, for example, biotechnology. You can study biology, veterinary, even medicine, and then you can be involved in another laboratory because there is not only a one pathway. You can study something similar, and then you can get access into the scientific world.
I see. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. No more?
Thank you very much for being here with us and talking about your research and all the things that you do and your team. And also we have Carol here that also is a scientist. And thank you for support our Congress and for being here. Thank you. So now we will take a picture with the two scientists and we will go to the Aljaferia Palace.